Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. And people, please, if you have any question, type it in the chat. I will have another monitor. They're going to be reading this, and you can see my screen about the business startup. It's exactly what the incubator it is. So you need to know what are the basic information requires in order to have a successful business, especially in Cal State Fullerton that you have great information and great knowledge. And I'm a proud Titan. I did my bachelor's and MBA there. I hope one day you guys can have some PhD so I can continue with that. Do you think that's going to be possible, Travis, or not?
You know, I want to say that we do or did have a small PhD program for a little while there. I don't know if we do anymore. Philip, do you know? Don't know. We can look into that, Carlos.
Okay, that's
I
a
don't
project for the
know.
near future.
Yeah, we'll put that on the wish list.
Okay, sounds good. All right. So one day when you are a governor to the state of California, you can make those changes and improve the Cal State system.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and I'm living in Texas now, so it'll be very interesting how I'm able to manage that.
Everything is able to do it online. So nowadays, but it's
Absolutely.
good. So the objective today is to learn what is the best business structure for your business and for your idea, because every small business is start like a sole proprietorship, but we want to go after that step. Want to make sure we able to do it. And you already have my background, so we're going to go to the first step: the licensing, the legal structure, the legal name. So important nowadays. Employee identification number, business license, sales permit. I just finished it up with doing a business coach for a client who's selling millions of dollars to one of those as influencers, but they forgot the sales permit. We want to explain that why it is required in, especially when you're doing a wholesale. Same thing about patents and trademark. So this is the information we want to see that today. So the very first step, remember, the IRS, CDTFA, Franchise Tax Board, all those departments are part of your team. They are working with you. I know this is the government. They don't want to scare you. They don't want to do anything against you, but they want to make sure that you're doing the things by compliance. If you have them on their side, you definitely can ask them questions, specifically the IRS. One of the biggest audit moments that always happen is the CDTFA. They are the sales tax department. And the franchise tax board, that's California, they always require their money. So, but the government is for you to help you to be part of your services, and don't be against them. Don't be afraid of them. Just ask them the right question and they can guide you through. They have specialty business departments so they can help you so you can be under compliance. And talking about the compliance, there is three different business structures that are always set up in the most old-fashioned way is that sole proprietorship, the sole owner. There is a partnership and there is a corporation. Okay. So most of the business structures, they happen to be a sole prop because it is easy, it is simple, and the LLC is a between all of them. So you need to be careful. Most of the business advisors, friends, even the gardener, they're going to start recommending you do an LLC. You need to be extremely careful with that because there can be some tax consequence. And then usually is not the right structure. All right. So legal name. It is recommended to have a doing business as is that's the called fictitious business name or DBA. That's the one, is the commercial name. That's the trade name that you're going to use for your business. It needs to be short. It needs to be easy to remember, and trying to explain exactly what it is that you do for a living so that you can get those clients. And also make sure that is a trademark available, and at the same time there is domain available. And nowadays, make sure your Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and LinkedIn, whatever do you guys use for social media, the name is also available, because a lot of the influencer or people that have the business, they have multiple social media access, and it is strongly recommended to have the same business name so they all be in the same boat. For example, mine is at El Triunfo Corp, and that's the Triunfo Corporation. That was the shortest thing I can get for the social media and still being a part of the name. All right. So there is a state requirement and also federal requirements. For the IRS, there is a number called EIN. You fill it out the form SS4, and you usually get it in 24 hours. If you do the old-fashioned way again, is send it by fax, or you want to do it the normal way now, is do it online. You fill it out the form, the SS4, and you get in 10, 15 minutes a number. And that number is one of the most important numbers in all your thousand numbers that you're going to get from the government and different institutions is the EIN, or also called employer identification number, or some other people that call it tax ID. At the end of the day, they're all the same. It's those 9-digit numbers. It is used to prepare your taxes, to pay payroll taxes, to get open accounts, and so many other things. On the other side, on the state level, we get the EDD. The EDD is just a number to pay payroll taxes for the employer's level, just on the state of California. Those two numbers are extremely important as a requirement in order to have a business in California. Okay, so they usually the question nowadays, and you even see it on the political election a couple weeks ago, they were talking about people they don't have a social security, but they have a business in California or they have a business in the United States. That's a IT number. The individual tax identification number, that's the number that you get for people who has a no resident or citizen status in order to work in the United States. This is one of those wonderful things that I love about this United States, that allow you to have a business but not able to work. It's one of those things that doesn't make any sense, but it's so convenient. So definitely you can do a business, you can have a business and start running a successful entrepreneurship with an IT number, or you can still have a social security number that both are required to have a bank account and also do the reporting. All right. So federal level, state level. Now we're going down to the city. It's a requirement that you have a business license, even though you still have a location in your home. If you are one of those businesses that's just running the show from your house, you still required to have a business license. That's a home permit. If you have an office or you have a warehouse, you still have a business license plus occupancy permit. That is one of those requirements in order to have a location. It can be free. For example, LA, they don't charge a dime. It's free 100%. You go to Cedar Santa Ana, it can be maybe 500. You go to Cedar Testing, it can be $50. It all depends. When you open a business, you have to be careful what city you want to do, and if you have all the requirements available for the city in order to open a location. Okay. So if you have questions, don't forget, just type it in the chat. I see something that you just type it is about a form. If you have to fill it out, make sure you get an extra credit. That's one of those things. I didn't get any extra credit within your class. There was no extra credits at all for MBA student, huh?
No, well, there shouldn't be. You're an MBA student.
That's good. That's good. But it's so important. If you guys are just taking your bachelor's right now, as soon as you finish, please continue on with get a master's degree. A bachelor is just the first step to move on. Okay, now I have a question. Does the city business license apply to a nonprofit? Yes. Okay. The difference between a profit and nonprofit is you don't pay federal or state taxes, but it still requires a business license in order to operate. Okay. If you are a nonprofit, you need to get approval by the IRS. First of all, you get the Secretary of State. You get the article of incorporation, get the status active, and then you file the IRS forms in order to get a nonprofit active, and then you file with the state of California and the Attorney General. But the business license, they want their money. The city that needs the money. All right. So if you have more questions, please don't forget to type it in. We still have 5 hours more to go, and this is going to be fun. No, it's only until 1. So seller's permits. It's super important if you are selling anything that is tangible, either in person, online, or when you're selling anywhere. So it's required to get a sales permit with a CDTFA. It's a new department of the state of California. They used to be Board of Equalization. Now they changed to a fancy name, but it's part of the program. And in that licensing, you don't pay anything to get it, but you pay the sales tax every time you buy something. And that office is required to manage the money for the state, distribute to the county, and also distribute it to the city. It's important that you have that requirement. And remember, when you are a buyer, you are the one who pay the taxes. When you are a business, you don't pay the sales taxes. You just acting as an agent of the state to collect the taxes and distribute the money. So be careful with that. So, and they want their money. So those are the company who usually do the audits for the small business or any institution. They get a sales permit and make sure they're collecting the fair amount. Okay, so be careful with that. Another regulatory things that we get around is the construction permit, burglary alarm, and business license, alcohol permit. There is so many licenses and permit that are required based on city level, county, states, and federal. So there is a website in the state of California called gold.ca.gov. Is a website that help everybody to figure out what is the right licensing for your business based on the industry, the county, and the city, because each city has their own requirements. So if you are a dentist, so it's going to be the dentistry board, they require a license. There also be the health department. If you're a restaurant, they will have the health department definitely checking, make sure that the location is adapt to that place. And there also there's a food handling. That's a different department. So there are so many different departments based on your business. So be careful when you open your location in order to have the right stuff. Same thing with the state and the federal. Get all the licenses and permit in place. This is a laundry list of stuff they may require. It can be more, it can be less. It depends on your business. One thing that usually people tend to forget is the workers' comp. When you have a business, you have an employee, workers' comp is not just for a construction business. It is for any institution, any business, either the structure is a corporation, LLC, partnership, sole proprietorship, whatever it is, that is always required to have a workers' compensation insurance when you have a business. I don't know if you guys saw that on the news last Sunday. Somebody in an Italian restaurant was doing some work and the guy fell and passed. And a couple days before that, it was in the high school, in Billabard High School, something happened to one of the workers, fell, something tragic happened, and the person died. That is workers' comp case. Those are the streaming case that somebody died in your operation. But it can be an accident, that somebody break a finger, or it can have some serious problem. But you need to have a workers' comp. If you are a small business, you're trying to save some money, say, I don't want to pay workers' comp because I don't have enough cash, I don't have enough money, and I'm trying to save some money, workers' comp is a requirement. Please make sure you have it. Otherwise, it's going to be a complicated situation. We don't want to go through that case that somebody dies, but that's going to the stream. All right. Let's now talk something more positive. Trademark and patents. Trademark are mega important nowadays because we have the technology available to see it, who owns what name. The U.S. Patent Institution, you can search it and see if the name is available in order to have your name to be more recognized in the United States. There is a portion that you can just register in the state of California, but I strongly recommend doing nationwide. That way, your name is recorded, is safe. You can have more marketing input to the name, and especially making more money. I did mine back in 2009, and I've been renewing it, protecting it as much as I can because it's part of the show. To have a trade name, it can be different than the corporate name, just specifically for the business. If you have something that you know how to do, that will be more on the patent side. Is either a method or a system that you put it in place, or a product that it is only you put it in business. That's the one that you want to make sure that it's on a patent register and put your name on it so you can make the big bucks. If you are a writer and you write in some songs, or you are putting recipes, or you have something that needs to be copyrighted, same thing. Those three are one of the requirements for you: a copyright, a patent, a trademark. Each one is for different institutions. Each one is for a different services or product. But this is when we need to get some attorneys in place to make sure they help you out to figure out which one is the best for you. All right. So now you know what is for the state, what for the county, what is the license that you may require if you have a trademark. But one thing that you cannot skip, never, ever skip this, is a bank account. It's extremely important that you have in a bank account, even if you are a sole proprietorship or you are a nonprofit or you are an LLC. The bank account is a plus, it's a requirement. You don't want to mix your personal information with your business information. You don't want to mix your personal account with the business account. We're going to have a business account and a personal account, everything separate. Especially when you have a business, you keep a track the financials, track the accounting, taxes. You want to make sure you do the tax planning, and this is the month of tax planning, so you can do the last movement of the year for see where's the money is going to go. So the bank account has to be open, and you have to take it real serious. This is not like, oh, I can pay some personal stuff, I can take money out, put money back in, and play with it. No, this is for the business. Imagine that you have a partner, the best partner that you in the whole world. It calls Uncle Sam, and the other one called Uncle Governor Newsom. They're going to know, what are you doing with that money? How are you spending that money? Where is the money coming in, and where is the money going? And also a help for your books to do a correct book and accounting, so you know exactly what's going on. And it's part of the requirement. If you're trying to get a SBA loan, definitely you need to get a bank account. If you want to keep a bright business structure, you need a bank account. And when you are trying to get a loan, you need a bank account. And personal account is this way, business account is the other way. Don't mix it. All right, let's continue on with the insurances. Insurances is one of those things that's part of the business. One is to protect the business, other one is to protect the clients of the business, the other one is the workers' compensation to protect the employee. And there are so many. There is an employee insurance, there is auto insurance, commercial insurance, medical insurance. All these types of insurance are required based on what you're doing. And let me tell you one thing. The business insurance is the business owner policy, or they can also call general liability. It's going to cover you from whatever happened in your business. As soon as you step in there, the client is protected, your inventory is protected, in case you get robbed, is protected, or get some fire. That's the insurance that you need for your business. Most of the business owner, they get it because the landlord asked for it. And as soon as the landlord forget about asking it over again next year or the year after that, they just simple don't ask. And when you don't ask for insurance and something happen, you are 100% liable. There are some requirements for different institutions or different industry or business. For example, construction, they require a bond. So when you have a construction business, you need to have a bond insurance. That's a requirement for the state of California Contractor State License Board. And if you have employees, the Contractor State License Board also require a workers' compensation. So those are now three insurance that you need to have. So those three insurance has to be in place in order to have a successful business and also to get a license. So that's important. So the insurance are necessary. It's part of the business expense. It's part of running the show. So if you are a professional, they're going to require errors and omissions, or they call it also malpractice insurance. That's also an insurance that you need to get in order to have a business. So if you are a doctor, errors and omission. You're an accountant, errors and omission. An attorney, definitely errors and omission. So that's the basic stuff, no matter for what type of industry you are or what is business structure you are. Question for you guys right now? So only Mrs. Jimenez is the one who asked. Okay. No question. We're going to move on to the next part of the show. It's going to be the corporation. So this is something that most of the structures, businesses are going in that way. Remember, we had the three: the sole proprietorship, the partnership, and the corporation, and the LLC in between. We're just gonna be specifically on the corporation. It's preferred for business entities. Most of the big businesses, you already know, they are a corporation. There is a limited liability that are invested in your company. Let's say you invested $10,000. That's the maximum you can lose, $10,000, because that's the risk that you're putting on the business, unless you sign it personally. For example, if you invest in Microsoft, you put in 10,000 in the Microsoft go BK, the maximum you can lose 10,000. They're not gonna go after you. That money stay protected in a way. So that's why most of the investment companies are a corporation, and big businesses that are a corporation, and you want to be one of those that you are structured as a corporation in order to have business coming in. So it's nice for when there is something liable happens. So in case something goes wrong, it's what it is for the business, just for the business. And the owner usually they're not suing the personal level, except on cases that you start using it more on the personal stuff. You're mixing personal than business, and it's get a little bit complex. So you have to talk to an attorney, make sure you keep everything under compliance so you don't mix business with personal stuff. And I see so many cases that people are paying all the personal expense from the bank account that belongs to the business, and usually is not a good way or good structure way. And that's why I like it, because it's everything is separate. You have everything that belongs to the business in one side, and everything that belongs to personal on the other, and the bank accounts, the insurance, the credit cards, everything is separate. And so they don't have to get mixed or confused. And the normal business practice, this is how a business owners look at it. Number one is the house. Number two is the cars, the personal savings, the family, and the business in between. Everything is in a one place, mixed, confused, and if something goes wrong, everything goes out. The right way how to do things is the corporation be in the middle, and you have a business structure with the money, with the work, with the equipment separate. They don't have anything inside. Everything is 100% that belongs to the business, and there is no mix with the personal stuff. If you have your personal, you have the many multiple owners, you have their houses, their vehicles, the cash, and the family business separate. Nothing have to get mixed. So that's why I recommend having a corporate structure in order to have a successful business.
Hey, Carlos,
Okay.
quick
Yes.
question on
Go ahead.
that. Do you have any horror stories from your business, from like some of your clients about mixing business and personal?
Oh, yeah, there is so many horrible story. I'm thinking of one now that he was paying diapers, baby milk, and everything that belongs to the newborn except from the bank account. When the IRS started doing the audit and say you have all the personal expense, and there was even paying the daughter's card that was going to school, and say, and one of the questions was to say, how do you pay your personal expense from your regular W-2 job and your regular income? And say, oh, no, I pay everything with a business account. And it is no good. I've seen cases that people trying to buy a house, and when they see the bank statement say you don't have any money on the personal account, everything belongs to the business, and you need to get some letters from the CPA saying that the money needs to get out of the business account in order to buy a house. So that's why you have to pay yourself, and everything has to be separate. Don't mix it. Whatever belongs to the company belongs to the company, the personal. And the funny one, once I was doing the taxes, and this guy showed up with a Victoria's Secret receipt on it. That was in first. I hope you bought it for your wife because otherwise it's gonna be a double problem. So no, don't use the personal account. Don't use your business account for personal expense. That's what I say. Yeah, it's very common in a small business. So in your incubator class, please make sure you remind them not mix it. It's
Yeah.
very common, especially in the Latino community. They
Yeah.
say, "Oh, we want one account is good enough." No, separate everything, things. All right.
Absolutely, yeah, and that I think bears repeating. It's so complicated doing it the right way.
Yes.
Getting help from somebody like Carlos or
Yeah.
somebody else who does the same thing is really vital once you start a business.
Yeah. Usually, I recommend I have my wallet right here. So you get your wallet in one side, personal accounts, and the other one, business account. Should I show you my credit card so you can keep that
Yeah,
for?
absolutely. And if you could, send me all the passwords to your bank accounts, that'd be a plus.
All right, sounds good. I will definitely send it out so you can use that money for the Black Friday.
Thanks.
All right, you're welcome. Okay, now let's go for the tax benefits. I love this idea to have a corporation. You can get a tax benefit to pay less taxes. When you are a sole proprietorship, you pay 15.3% more on self-employment tax. So that's additional money that you have to pay just to be a sole proprietorship. It's like you went to the store and say, I want to pay 15% more because I like the government. I want to support the Social Security and Medicare. You don't have to. When you are an S Corp, you can pay portion of the money in your W-2, you still contribute to the Social Security and Medicare, and the other money is going to go straight as a dividend, distribution, honest draw, whatever you want to call it, it's still going to go in a K1. And I have a question. Yes, I need to order equipment. How she wants, Dolly wants to order his own equipment. Definitely. I can send that over to your way. That she was talking about showing my credit card in there. They don't have a limit. That's the best part right now. When you are a corporation, they also open set up more deductions. So I'm going to do a quick advertising to my friend Starbucks. If I buy on a personal level, this is not write-off. If I buy for a business meeting, guess what? It's a write-off. I was talking to a client, and actually it was sponsored by a client. They gave it to me. So I say, and that's a write-off. But if you buy on a personal level, it's not going to be. It's a business meeting. That's why you see those corporations spending good money on expenses that are required for the business. And there is more deductions available for the business when you are in a business structure. The S corporation status, it helps a lot. Is reducing your tax liability. A corporation being taxed as an S corp on the federal level, you pay zero tax. They don't charge you tax. All the taxes paid on the personal level. And the state of California, on the profit, they only charge you 1.5%. I don't know how much is in Texas, Travis, so you will know that one.
Well, there's no income tax here, so there's that.
It's zero better than 1.5, right?
It is.
Yeah, all right. And also, when you are a corporation, if you like gamble, it's going to reduce to less than 2% a chance to get an audit. When you are a Schedule C or an LLC taxes and sole proprietorship, you get a chance about 20%. So if were you, I would try to stay away from the government to get at it. And also when you buy insurance, if you are a S corporation or C corporation, the corporation can pay the health insurance and it's going to get a tax benefits, some write-off in there if you set it up correctly. And also you get a preferred life insurance price. It depends how you're structured. They can also take another good benefits. And talking about benefits and credit and money, you can get line of credits. And I got a question for Brian right now. The legal requirements to start a business are included in your program on the website, triunfo.com. Yes, I do. I'm also going to give you my email. You can see my email on the presentation. If you send me an email, I will send you the checklist and also a budget, how to set it up, a new business. It's free. It's part of the show. All inclusive today. All right. Talking about credits, money is convenient. I was so grateful with getting the launch for Callister Fullerton, but also when you start seeing the SBA, the SPDC, they're there to help you. I learned about the 504 loans, and I bought this building 10 years ago, and times went fly, and the business is successful. I paid off the bills, the business, the building, and everything's running smoothly. Then it can also give you credit cards, give you card loans, equipment loans for somebody who was asking about equipment loan. Yes, it's more convenient when you're doing that way. All right. So somebody has, okay, the website there. Oh, thank you very much, Travis. Helping you very much. But in order to get all the good stuff, you need to get another number, and that is the DUNS. That is free. That's called dance number. Is provided by DMB, not the one that give you the driver's license, is the other with the other B. The dance on Broad Street, that's the one they give you the number. It is free 100%, unless they want to charge you a membership fee. Don't pay. There is no required. It's just basic information they want to get for you, and usually a week or less, they're going to give it to you. It is important because when you're trying to get a car loan, or you want to try to SBA loan or bank loan, that number is in there. And there is also another number that is coming up. It is the BOI report, the beneficial ownership interest. That's the FinCEN report. It is something the IRS is required to all the business owners who has a S corp, C corp, LLC, partnership. They has to disclose who is the owner, even though they know who is the owner, but they want you to disclose name, address, if you are married, your wife or husband information, social security, and all that good stuff. The only thing they are not asking is what is your blood type. Otherwise, they're asking for everything. Okay. If you have more questions, please let me know. Oh, thank you for putting the dance number. You're doing such a wonderful job. Oh, amazing, Travis.
I'm trying to keep up with you, Carlos.
All right, thank you, thank you. All right. So another thing that is like also a great benefit, that's the able to print your own money. That sounds illegal, but it's not. It is the stock certificate. If you want to have a partner, don't be just a partner like that. Be a shareholder of an entity. Okay, so let's say you want to have 50% ownership. I get a 50% ownership of those shares. And then you're going to have a president, vice president, secretary, CFO, directors. And also you can still keep control if you own more than 51%. And you can, even if you ask for family members, say, you want to be part of the team? Okay, I'm going to give you some share. But be careful, don't be promoting the shares. Otherwise, the SEC is going to think about it. You are selling shares. No, it's just when you're doing a small business. It can be a restaurant, it can be anything small that you're starting, or any idea that you have in mind. You have to structure it in the right way. If you're doing an LLC, it has to be a membership. What percentage of the membership? And the LLC can be also be taxed as an S corp. That's a nice way how to do it, and still saving the 15.3%. So being able to have your own shares is always good. If you like any business movie, just watch the movie Facebook, the social media. That was maybe more than 10 years old. And there is a portion of the movie that was talking about the shares that getting diluted because the guy went to New York to try to work for another company and getting the internship of finding the money, and his shares was diluted. That was part of the stock certificates. All right. Another important thing when you are a corporation, one, the public image is no you is an entity now that is promoting the business. Okay. And they're going to see as an institution. Banks are going to think you are more professional because you took the time to go for all these steps in order to do a business correct in the right way. And they're going to think you are big, you have enough cash. That is a good way to vehicle for investment in case you get a loss. The loss is going to go flow through to a K1 when you're an S corp. If you're a C corp, you're going to hold on for the next 21 years until it's required that you use it. And one of your favorite things, if things go the wrong way, the corporation can go BK, not you, if you have everything separate. But that's the worst case scenario. We are not promoting to go down in a bankruptcy. Is you want to make sure you're making money. And it is fun in the United States to make money. It is easy to make money. Actually, we don't make the money. The money is made by the Federal Reserve. If we just attract it to your bank account. And you need to have a right business in mind. That's why the incubator is an option for you. I think is one of the best options because usually you don't see that around to give you explain what step needs to get done. And this is just the beginning of the business structure idea. All right. So let's compare the corporation, the sole proprietorship. The corporation is a limited liability. You invest 10,000, it's 10,000 that you put on the risk. If you pay as a sole proprietorship, it's unlimited. That means anything that you own, it is in stake. It's if you have a house, your house is on stake. If you have cards, you have investments, it is a problem. You don't want to make you want to make sure the business is one side, the person is the other. They don't want to cross each other. Corporations is less taxes. And on the federal level, if you are a C Corp, it's only 21%. You are an S Corp, it's zero. If you are in California, a C Corp is 8.84% on the state level. If you are an S Corp, it's 1.5. If you want to go to Texas, zero. On sole proprietorship, you pay regular federal income tax and self-employment tax. I don't like paying additional taxes just because I'm in a wrong structure. That's usually not a good business plan. And let's say just in 50,000, you put it away 7,500 in additional taxes. Just with 50,000, paying additional 7,500. What can you do, Travis, with 7,500 these holidays?
Oh, buy a ton of gifts for my nieces and nephews.
Nice.
Yeah.
Or you can even come back to California and visit us.
I could.
Yeah.
I might.
It's a lot of money. If 7,500, if you want to just throw it away just because you didn't structure the right business entity, it seems to be like people paying it more and more and they don't check it. So if you have a business right now, you are a sole proprietorship, please go to the section self-employment tax and you will see how much money you send it away. And you can multiply that for how many years you've been in business. If you are new, you don't want to be one of those statistics that is sending money away to a department you may never use. They call Social Security. That it's not a political side, it's just money-wise. You can still pay when you're W-2, but you don't pay as much. You just pay whatever you decide to pay with your salary. That's going to be for another seminar. What is a reasonable compensation? That usually is a fun topic. How much should I get paid in order to don't pay too much taxes?
Well, Carlos, how much do you pay yourself? You give a range or not answer.
Yes. Okay. So here's the thing, and that's a reasonable compensation. It depends what is your industry and what is your profession. And usually when I like it, how much you will get somebody according to the job that you're doing. Mine, it goes, just gonna give it 10,000 a month on the salary wise, but that doesn't mean that's my yearly income. That's part of the structure on how you play with it. There are so many tools and whistles you can use with a tax code. It depends how you use it. Okay, so it all depends.
Gotcha.
It is fun. When you start making money, okay, remember, the business is just to make money. How you're going to use it is the most important thing. So that's W2, try to keep it as low as possible and the distribution as high as you can. And the IRS will be happy whatever they're getting paid for Social Security and Medicare. You pay your regular income tax as an employee, and the rest you pay as an investor. Usually investors pay less taxes. And that's why you play with the system, with their toys and their tools. There's the IRS code. Do you like that book, the IRS code?
I don't. Are you making a joke here, Carlos?
Yeah, it's a joke for you. If you can't go to sleep, you can read the IRS code. It's about this thick.
Yeah, I was going to say. I mean, isn't it like 100,000 pages long or something like that?
Yes, you definitely read it, and the first 2 pages gonna really have a nice sleep.
Yeah. Absolutely.
It is fun, but there's so many tools and whistles there. Now with the AI, you can even ask in a tax strategy. We have a database that is just for accountants and tax advisors, and it is amazing what information you can get it out of just a click asking the right question. All right.
Absolutely.
So business credits. Oh, it is so much better when you're at a corporation to get business credits from a credit card, from a car. It is fun. Let's say you get in a car today, and it's the end of the year. Is the car is more than 6,000 pounds. You can get a full write off because it's a heavy duty car for the business, and you get a loan for it. You still don't have to pay it today or the end of the year, and the IRS still take the depreciation. And the second thing, that loan is not showing up in your credit report. So when you run your credit report with Experian, TransUnion, or Equifax, that thing doesn't show there because it belongs to the business. And the title, it say the business name, you're just a driver and personal guarantor, of course. The banks that are not going to give it away just like that. They have somebody physical who's going to be driving the car. It's a personal guarantor, but it helps to get a new car or get a line of credit or get a credit card and enjoy the points and the miles. It is always it's amazing to receive. One of the mistake that people make all the time when they get the bank account, they don't get a Visa or MasterCard or American Express to pay the expenses. Never ever pay with a check or ATM because electronic transfer or sell when you have a business because those things they don't get points. It's just part of the business expense. But if you pay with a credit card, you get the points, you get the mileage, you get a better credit, and at the end of the month, you just pay it off, and everybody's happy. And this is how you get your 850 FICO score, and also you get line of credits, and it's always wonderful. I've been having the 850 FICO score, I don't more than 10 years now, and it's always nice. Whatever you want, they always give it to you. But you have to be careful. Don't just get in debt just because. On the personal side, you get what you get. If you have a 620 FICO score, you're not gonna get that far. If you are below the 600s, you're gonna get zero, nada. So you have to be careful. But the business can have their own credit, and you can have your own credit. As an investors, you can get more people investing in your business and personal investment on the sole proprietorship. That's it. You're not gonna get that much. It's just you. All right. So if you have a business, you need to make sure you get 100% from A to Z. I notice a lot of small business when they start doing on their own, they go to legal soon. Whatever they get the legal soon done, you think you are already 100% complete, but it's not. They give you maybe 20, 30%. They give you a corporate book, nothing in there, and they give you a CD or something that you can download from the website, and you have to do your own bylaws, minutes, stock certificate, and get your own business license, open your own bank account. Sometimes they don't even give the EIN number, so you have to go through the whole nonsense on your own, and I don't think that's a good idea. So pay a professional, pay an attorney to make sure they go over the whole steps. And so you can be in compliance on the federal level, state level, county, and city. If you're missing something, that's going to be a problem. So make sure you everything get well done and well said. All right. This is a small checklist. That's for any business, including a nonprofit. It's number one is the articles of incorporation. If you're a S or C Corp, everything starts the same. Then you elected to become an S Corp. If you're a nonprofit, it's a regular articles of nonprofit organization that you get set up. An employee identification number, that's tax ID. They don't charge, it is free. State ID, that's for the EDD. It's free, they don't charge. The statement of information is that's the $25. They're asking who's the name, the president, vice president, secretary. That is the Secretary of State charges $25. Usually a corporate book is 100, around 10, plus or minus is what they charge. The fictitious business name depends on what county. It can be $26 in LA, it can be 23 in California, in Orange County, or it can be more than $50 in Riverside. It all depends. Business license, it can be questionable, can be zero, can be 500, can be 50. It all depends on the city. Bank account, they don't charge. But they do charge on a monthly fee if you don't keep an average balance. And a sales permit, they don't charge. Payroll, you can talk to ADP or one of those payroll providers. They can help you based on the frequency. You can do weekly, bi-weekly. At least you have to pay yourself once a month. In the worst case scenario is once a quarter, but you have to get paid. If you have an employee, you definitely have to pay 2 times a month. If you don't get payroll and you just pay in cash, or you say you're going to give a 1099, that's not correct. You're going to get in trouble. And insurance is based on your industry. Remember, you need to have the BOP insurance, the business owner policy. That's one. And the second one is workers' comp. If you are in a business that require a bond, you get a bond. If you're in a business require errors and omission or professional liability, you get that one. And the dance number is free. So you go to those steps. Those are the basic standard one. And there is some specific for your industry. You are a health department, or you can be construction license board, or it can be accountancy board. So it all depends. So many things that can happen. But you're always going to have questions when you open a business. Remember, this is just the bare bone structure. And from now on, we can build the successful business when you have the structure. If you're going only halfway and you don't finish, continue with it. Okay? That's why the incubator go through 6 weeks, you say. You have to go through the whole step. Get the business plan, get the licenses, get the bank accounts in order, and have the great business idea, but then also solving a problem or a concern that any other person can have. And that's how you're going to make the money. So with that, I will open the floor to have as many questions as you ask. How you like. Just throw me one question at a time. You don't have to do all at once.
So does anybody have any questions for Carlos?
They're so quiet today. And we have a lot of people connected.
We do have a good number of people connected.
Yes. And remember, this is going to be recorded and also going to be in social media and YouTube. And when they ask questions over there, I can also answer those questions. I'm going to be monitoring the chat and asking those questions.
Dolly, you've raised your hand. Please unmute yourself and ask your question.
Yes, thank you. Carlos, I thank you for all the information you're providing, because
my pleasure.
Every time I attend one of these webinars, I still learn even more.
Yes.
So again, thank you. My question is this. I'm just trying to get my MWBE certification.
Okay.
Because eventually I want to go into the airport. And one of the requirements to put in my package to submit for the certification, I had to get bylaws. What exactly is that? I'm having a meeting tomorrow with someone that's going to help me set it up, but I want to make sure I'm not asking stupid questions.
Okay. All right. Perfect. So congratulations on your new business. When you set it up an articles incorporation as a regular business in the Secretary of State, that's that's the birth certificate of a business. It's a newborn. It's a baby. But just saying, this is the baby's name and this is the mother or the dad or the business and how many shares you're going to do it. So that's the very first thing. That's why I call it birth certificate. It's there. The next step is to order a corporate book. Okay. That corporate book is going to have a organization minute. Usually it's about 20 to 30 pages. Okay.
Right.
And yes. And there's asking the question, where is going to be the business? Who's going to be the president? Who's going to be the secretary? Who's going to, every single little question. So, and then the meeting is over. You get those 30 pages done. You sign it, put the corporate seal. It's official for you.
Okay.
All right. And
so,
here's the fun part.
Okay.
There's another requirement. That's the bylaws. Let's think about it. That's the U.S. Constitution.
Okay.
Okay. This is the law of the corporation. All the rules and regulations that Usually it is a standard for a business. If you want to go fancy or something complicated, you have to pay an attorney to do it. And that is when they get more complex. If you want to go the standard way, the easy one, when you order the corporate book, it will come with a CD or will come with a USB or something to download online. And then you fill it out, answer the question, the yes, no, just no, put in your name, put in the address, kind of like a fill in the blank. I wish
Mm-hmm.
Travis' exam was like that, fill in the blank and you're done.
Okay.
But this one is easy. And you can do it yourself. If not,
I,
you can shoot me an email. I can help you through. Do you have a corporation already set up or not yet?
I already have it set up.
Good.
It's growing faster than I anticipated.
Nice. Congratulations.
and,
Yeah,
and
if you can put it in the chat, I can search it up and see what is good and bad. I don't know if we were able to share that. I can search it online. It's take me a second. You think it's a good idea to do that, Travis, or we just keep it out on the personal level later on?
Probably keep it on the personal
Okay, sounds
level
good.
later on. Yeah.
All right. So shoot me an email and we can have a one-on-one, no charge, and we can go over this.
thank you, Carlos. I appreciate it.
My
I'm
pleasure.
sending you the name of the company.
Okay.
One day you'll have these. You'll be saying, I know the owner of that company. Yeah, I spoke to her.
Yes. Okay. That's good. I definitely want to make sure I say that. I already save it here on my notes, and that's good. All right. So if you have any other questions.
So Carlos, a personal question. So
Yes.
you've taken all of your CPA exams, you did all that. How did you become who you are?
All right. Actually, I did not want to go to the CPA because I found a better way, or we can say easy way. That's the enroll agent. Okay. Okay. So there is a multiple way how you can become an accountant in the state of California. I got the knowledge from you guys. So I got the education. I did my bachelor in accounting, finance, and personal finance. Then I did a master's degree in Kaplan, and then an MBA from Cal State. All right. But between that, I figured that out the small business, they have a big problem. And I saw that way back in 2004 when I was working for a mortgage and a real estate firm, and they had the same problem. Every single client they're trying to get a house back in the days, they don't have financials and they have sole proprietorship, and they don't have bookkeeping. They have no idea about tax planning, and it seems to be like that is one of those rat race. They keep doing the same thing. They haven't evolved. It's keep doing the same thing over and over again. Doesn't matter if it's just the Latino community or any other community. And I noticed to say, if I can help a group of people, I can definitely be a successful business. So I did my enroll agent with the IRS, and I also got my FINRA with the Series 6 and 63 license, and also got all the insurances license, so I can be able to talk about money whatever way it comes. And since 2020, I have over 1,300 live TV interview. Right after I finish this, I have a live TV interview to do too, that are helping business owners, whatever they need.
Very cool. Does anybody else have any questions for Carlos? We only got seconds.
And you got my information. You can email me, text me. You got the phone number there in the presentation, and I am more than happy to help you out in anything you may require, you need. And I'm here, part of the Titan, right here.
Right. Thank you very much, Carlos.
My pleasure. Thank you, Travis. Thank you, everyone. It is connected to Perla and everybody else. And if you have any questions down the road, I will be more than happy to help you out.